The Ball's Head is a reserve that was established on Sydney Harbour here in the 1920s, and it's adjacent to the coal loader platform here, and it's got a very special biodiversity in terms of flora and fauna. I think this is a fabulous field trip for third-year students because they're able to come here and develop their own hypotheses as to what might be actually happening on the platform and the reserve. They're able to test those hypotheses in groups that they would actually like. There are a range of different activities that they're looking at, so it captures their particular interests and they get to engage with council and other types of sustainability people. So it's a nice dovetail into going off into the workforce next year.
This is able to go on our resume, so that's really cool. But it's just, you've gone out there, you've done it, you've used some of the equipment, so potentially you might use it again. You already know how to use it. Working with other people, you work with a wide variety of people here, so I think it's really beneficial to future work.
In this course, we teach students how to work with plants, and they identify various plant species. That includes native and invasive species. They learn about various aspects of the soil, what type of soils. Those soils relates back to the plant species which are grown in this area.
Yeah, you get to apply a lot of what you learn in the classroom. I think that's the cool thing, how you see skills that you learn here and skills that you've learned in other class can be applied in a real setting.
We've all done incredibly different PhDs, we've all done incredibly different ways of researching things. I think it brings different ways to sample, I think it brings with different way to think about the research that they're doing, to think about their results. Everybody has a slightly different way of interpreting data and a different way of analysing data, and I think that's a really nice thing for students to get as part of their learning experience. I think in 3 days it's long enough so you don't get bored. We take it out of the classroom, so it's an intensive 3 days, as opposed to those a couple of hour pracs week to week, which sit in a classroom and you're actually not out there. If you want to learn to sample in an area, you've got to get out there and sample. You've really got to learn. So what it does do is get students on the ground and really get them thinking about what works when you're in a real environment.
Biodiversity is really important because it actually tells us how healthy a system is. So biodiversity includes all the animals and plants and everything that you can actually measure and how they actually interact together. And generally, the more biodiverse a system is, meaning the more components or organisms that make up the system, the more resilient that community can be.